want to talk about is, this is quick formatting. And so the thing we have to understand is we want to make sure that it's going to be 12 point, Times New Roman, double space. It's single space and indented for 5 lines or more of a quote. Then we want to go ahead and set up your styles and set up your table of contents. And then that would be by doing our heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. So we're going to go ahead and do some of that. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about setting up your footnotes. All right, so here's some information you could find on that. And I'm going to go ahead and do this very quickly. And you're not going to believe how fast this is going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and come down to my abstract. Now, I didn't go through and correct all my content yet, but we can do that as we go. Now, I'm clicking anywhere in here, and I'm going to, you can do it any way that you like. Normal text right now, normal text, it looks like, is set to Arial 11 point. Okay, that's fine. But I want to change it to 12 point. I want to change it to Times New Roman. Not that this is my favorite. I'm a type person. I promise you, this is not my favorite font. It's the Academia font. Then I'm going to go ahead and make it double space, and we'll go back in and single space our quotes. Now, to do this very easily, one way to do it, instead of scrolling and selecting, I can hit, if you're a PC, you're going to hit Control A, but if you are a Mac, you will hit Command A. And what did that do? It selected all of my text. And now I'm going to format. You notice that this normal style went away. Well, I'm going to go ahead and click the drop down here and make it Times New Roman. It makes all of it Times New Roman. It's going to take a minute. There it is. I'm going to make it 12 point. And now I'm going to come over here where this bar is the line spacing. I will click the drop down menu, and I'm going to make it double. And you can tell a lot of things happened here, huh? Okay. We'll have to fix some spacing. That's fine. Okay. All right. So here's my introduction. Now I want to go back in, and I'm going to add space after my paragraph. I'm going to do it now. And then I can delete and clean it up. Now let me go through and clean some of the first pages up so that you can see how this works. Okay. Here's my title page, or my cover. And in the cover, I'm going to go back and make this single space just because I want it to be single. Hang on, I'll answer questions in a second. Here is my title page. It's fine that this is double, but I don't like that space in there, so I'm going to pull that up a little bit. I think these were supposed to be single. Actually, these are supposed to be 1.5. Maybe even less. I'll have to look at that. Then right here, this next page was supposed to be my copyright. Now, a lot of times I will do this before I actually do my structure, but I wanted to separate the two for you guys, and it just made it a little bit backwards, but that's okay. Let me get my, here it is. I'll make this single space, and I want to remove before. So typically, again, I do this before, but I was trying to, like I say, separate. Okay, so there that is. All right, here's my abstract. My abstract's in the right place. And then my introduction, abstract and introduction. I'm going to go ahead and pull some space out of that. Okay, and these spaces right here, you can go in and clean that up and delete some of those spaces too. So you kind of get the idea that, okay, so I'm ready, there's my abstract. Now the thing that I'm missing right now is I'm missing my table of contents, but we're gonna add that, okay? I'm gonna finish this formatting, then I'll answer some questions. Chapter 1, we might wanna go ahead and move some spaces. Let me just go ahead and move some spaces out of this. Here, hang on just a second, guys. You're all asking questions. Just a minute. So here we go. And so I'm going to go ahead. This first thing right here, I'm going to go ahead.
Nancy, so we're not seeing anything you've been doing.
What?
Yeah, we are only seeing the slideshow. We haven't seen anything you just demonstrated.
Oh, nuts. You didn't see any of that? Oh, ouch. Okay. All right, let me, I will do it over. Sorry, guys. All right, let me, don't know what, wonder what happened there. Okay, hang on one second. Okie doke. You know what, I'm wondering if I had the wrong picture going up. Let's see. Okay, we'll do it again. Okay. Let me try it again. Share screen. I think I was sharing. All right, can you see it now? Let me see everybody's faces. Can you see? Okay. Okay, all right, so thank you for telling me that. All right, I'm gonna click inside my document, and on a Mac, I'm gonna choose Command A. On a PC, it's Control A, selects all. I'll go down here and you can see how that looks. It's selecting all of my content. I'm going to click Times New Roman, 12 point, double space, add space after paragraph. I'm going to click this drop down and go to normal text and update normal text to match. Okay. Now everything's flush left, so I'll go back in and clean some of this up. Typically, I do a little bit of formatting before I do structure, but I wanted to show you the two differences. Okay, so this is that cover page, and I'm going to take some spaces out. I'm going to go back in and clean up some of my spaces. I'm going to go ahead and make that single. I actually might want to make this flush left because I'm going to add a picture to it, so I might want to do something different to this. And this is going to be God's love, so I'll go here and add God's love. Okay, and we'll put a picture in there. If this still has too many spaces for you, it's because we're going to go ahead and remove the space after we just added in. So now you can do whatever you want on that cover page. On the title page, it's God's love. And we want, this has to be centered. Let's just go ahead and center this. We're going back in to clean up after we did that. We can go ahead and single space that because it was already ready. Okay, this is fine. You can put your name in there on that title page. That's good. And then for your copyright page, we want to go ahead and select it, and we'll make that single space, and we want to remove that. Your abstract snuck up there, and so we're going to put a page break in and stick it down there. Here's your introduction. Notice that all the bold stuff went out of that. Everything changed, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. This is chapter 1. Now we want some of these things to be single spaced, and we can go through and fix those as we go. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. We might want that centered. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit more formatting to this. So some of these things are quotes, and we want to 5 lines or more. I think that this was quite a quote here. So if this is a quote, and that is indented, so I'm going to go ahead and select all of that. That's more than. I'm going to take the bold off of that. I'm going to single space 5 lines or more of a quote. I'm going to probably remove the space, and I'm going to indent that. Go ahead and move that up. So there, that's block. You are welcome to take a quote, and you're welcome to indent the first line. That's fine. It's up to you. You can do block or you can do indent, however you want. And some people like both. Go ahead and put that in there. This is not. I'm not quite doing this right for their paper, but I just needed some example to show you. Okay, let me move that up a little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more formatting here. So we've got a little structure, we got a little format going on, but what are we missing? We are missing, let's look at our body. We are missing the table of contents, which is coming right before your introduction, okay? And so how do I put that in? Some of you have been typing that, but as you see on this page, it's telling you that as you add a heading 1 style, a heading 2 style, and a heading 3 style, it automatically populates your table of contents. In the Google Docs, you're not going to have the great choices that you do once you download. So what we're going to do right now is create what I call a placeholder, because when we download, we actually can do better work and make it look nicer, okay? And so after your abstract, right before your introduction, I'm going to put my cursor here, and I'm going to put table of contents. I'm going to hit the enter button and enter again, and I will go to insert, break, and page break. Okay, so I don't have any styles set up except my normal text. And now I need to set that up because I have nothing. If I go up here to table of contents and I put my cursor after the table of contents right here, and I go to insert, see if you can see it. Hold on, let me see. Table of contents. There's nothing to insert. So I'm going to Control Z and get rid of that. And so, well, how do I get them? Well, let's decide. Let's go up here and see what are our titles. Okay, so we want to have titles in here. And my abstract is my first title. I'm going to select the word abstract. I'm going to make it, and typically it's 14, 18 point. I'll make it 14 point. You can make it bold, however. I'm going to center it. It has some space after. I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to remove the space after and make it single space, but I want to have space before. But you can add some space after if you like. So that's up to you, however you want to. We'll look at that and see how that works. But now, if I just leave it like that, I can do this too. All right. You can do however you like to design yours. Sometimes people like it smaller, and that's fine. But now I'm going to select it. I'm selecting it because I'm choosing the spaces around it to copy as well. I'll click the drop-down menu and go to heading 1, the arrow over, update to match heading 1. Now, as I scroll down, I want to select table of contents and select the drop-down, click heading 1. It all happens. I can just go ahead and click introduction, select heading 1. And down here, when it comes to chapter 1, maybe I want this to be a heading 1 as well. And perhaps I want this to be a heading 2. So I've got to vary it some way. So since the first one was 18, I will make it 14 and bold. How's that? And I'll keep it flush left. So I'll click the drop down here and click heading 2 and go to update to match heading 2. I'm gonna just do a couple more here just to show you. So my spacing's not fabulous, but I could go back in and fix some of my spacing. And then this would be a heading 2. This looks like it's going to be a quote. Well, it's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is 5 lines or more. That quote is going to be here, single spaced, and it'll be indented. You don't have to, they didn't have to bold, but that's okay. Here's another long one. This is a lot of quotes in this. Geez, I should have checked it out, huh? Okay. So you can see some things that are, okay, chapter 2, we'll just do a couple chapters. This is going to be a heading 1, and this will be a heading 2. Now, if I go back up to the, this is how we're building our paper. We're building the format with the structure now. I'm back in the table of contents, and I click right here, right below it, and I can go to Insert, Table of Contents, and I'm gonna check. I'm going to use the first one because it'll have the page numbers, even though I didn't put page numbers in yet. Let's see here, hold on a minute. Let me, oops, went down too far. There, okay. Okay, so if there are misspellings or something isn't right, I don't want to correct it here. I want to correct it at the source. So what if I say God love? Oh, here, hold on. This jump back up. Okay, insert break. All right, so the introduction was on the previous page. Okay, so that's okay. So let's change something. What if I go here and I change chapter 1, God, and I say God love instead of God is love? Let's go back up here and see what happens. If I click in here, you see the word God is love, but if I click in this table of contents and I click the little circle, watch what happens. I'm gonna go back down and fix that. Okay. Now in Google, it automatically saves. Now it doesn't do that in Microsoft Word, so you don't have to save it every time. Okay, so you guys get the idea. And so we built the paper accordingly. And I can go through really quickly and format this pretty fast, actually. Some of the spacing won't be exactly right, but I can, let me see, let me fix some of that. Like I can run through here and format it. Well, it's moving slow. Okay, so I'm not gonna indent everything that's, do this, make that heading 2. So I won't indent everything just perfectly yet. I won't do all my spaces, but let me just get the structure and some of the formatting right for you. Chapter 3, heading 1. Heading 1, the heading 1s, you could begin them on new pages if you want. That's up to you. The introduction and the conclusion and the title page, or the first page of your paper, would be good to put those on their own page to start. Let you just watch, and then we'll start doing some footnotes in a minute. I'll take some questions in a second. These spaces need cleaned up. You can see I can go through and change some of the wording, fix some things up, clean it up. Okay, so you guys kind of get the idea of how that works. Chapter 4, heading 1, heading 2. Okay, and then I'm going to just jump ahead and skip all the little subheadings and go back to bibliography or works cited. Okay, since this page has footnotes, we're going to go ahead and make it a bibliography. Works cited would be MLA, which is parentheticals or inline text citations. Right, so let's go back and I'll go ahead and fix this. I didn't do all the subs, but okay. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second